It was amazing. Like everything just came back, like the floodgates of memory. All those memories had just opened up, and everything came back to me. It was similar to what you saw on screen. It was very much like that. He's a great guy and a fantastic actor, fantastic co-actor, very giving. Never. He's also very loose on set, very easy on set. Like I wish, if that was the filmmaking experience, trust me, it's like you can't. It doesn't get any better than that. I do have this belief that if it's something that is any good, if it's a good show, then it finds its place playing, and let me just kind of do other stuff, chat with friends, stalk people, shop for something, look up something. Doesn't make sense to me. I don't buy that.
Hello everyone, this is Aishwarya from OTTplay show reel, and today I'm excited because after 5 years we are going to see one of the iconic characters on OTT coming back, and I think people have been impatient, so let's check out how impatient Ishwak Singh has been over the 5 years. So hello.
Hello.
So have you been impatient for for awaiting the release of season 2?
No, not at all. It was brewing. It was brewing on paper. We made it, and then it was kind of being put together. So it's been a good set of 5 years, and I've enjoyed my journey, the Paatal Lok journey from season 1 to season 2, and anything that I've done in between. It's been great, surreal. Worked with some great filmmakers and had some wonderful releases. And now it's almost like, kind of feels like a culmination to something.
Yeah.
Let's see how that goes.
So when did you start shooting for season 2 of Paatal Lok? Where did you complete Rocket Boys till then, or Adhura? Like, did you?
Oh, everything. Whatever's out till now, I finished all of that, and then I got into Paatal Lok, which was about, I think, end of 2020, 22, end 23, first quarter.
So was it? And this is the first time you're reprising a character after after a gap. It's a season 2. Your first time returning to a character which has been already established well, but it's delving more. So as an actor, how did you do you find it challenging, or did you just got in like on the set, or when you read the script?
Yeah, I did it for Rocket Boys as well.
Yeah, but I think it was simultaneously.
No, it was short, and then we did one sked for season 2. Before the release, we did one more sked a couple of months before the release of season 2. But there was a significant gap between the 2 seasons, and I think it was amazing. Like everything just came back, like the floodgates of memory. All those memories had just opened up, and everything came back to me in an instant, and I felt like, and it's also kind of so well charted because the story doesn't pick up from the next day. There's been a gap. So I think it has more to do with that it just kind of fell in place because we're seeing each other, even kind of it's like there's been some gap there. So I guess that's one thing which was like it's kind of hot butter on toast.
Definitely. And when you talk about Paatal Lok, it's a chemistry between the two actors who have, even in the show you are introduced to each other as characters, and then you begin working with each other, and then there's an equation which is progressed. Likewise, how was it having Jaideep Ahlawat, and how has the working equation evolved over from first to second season? Was it similar to what we see on screen, or there is kind of feeding of energy from each other?
Yeah, it was similar. It was similar to what you saw on screen. It was very much like that. He's a great guy and a fantastic actor, fantastic co-actor, very giving. He's also very loose on set, very easy on set, and everyone keeps everyone on their toes and entertained, and a wonderful guy to work with. Plus, I also have this thing of almost like, I mean, he's been in the industry longer than me. He's been part of films that I really, I like some of, like my favorites, like Gangs.
Oh yeah.
So we did have that kind of a Ansari-Hathi Ram kind of an equation, where he'd like give us 2 bits about his experience, his journey, and it was fun. Plus, he's one of those guys who are great storytellers. So if you sit with him, he kind of tells a story a certain way, which is very entertaining, hilarious, and it's always fun to be around him.
So could you share any anecdote which you remember with him?
Lots every day. I mean, we'd huddle up after the at the end of the shoot. We'd all get together and have we shooting up in the hills, and it was really cold, and we'd get together. There was like this lovely restaurant which had a fireplace. We had our nice hearty meal, all of us, like one big family, and Tilotama, me, Jaideep, the directors, Sudeep, all of us, and then and then they just keep after that we'd all go out, and there's like a little spill out or deck which is very cold, and I used to think that I'm going to leave in like 5 minutes, but we end up spending like an hour and a half listening to his stories from institute and anecdotes and other things. So it was like I wish if that was the filmmaking experience, trust me, it's like you can't, it doesn't get any better than that. That's what I'm going to say.
Yeah. And like I mentioned that it was you played several characters before returning as Ansari in the series. But I just want to know, when you play a character or something, there is always an artist who might take away and inculcate something which in their forthcoming projects. So does, like, when you were part of, be it Rocket Boys or Berlin or Adhura, did it somewhat change your perception while filming Paatal Lok than it was when it was in the first season? Because I think that was your first
for sure.
long format
For sure.
which you did.
Yes, for sure. I think you always learn, especially when you're working on a good script and with good set of people, there's always takeaways.
Yeah.
And with good co-actors. And if there are no takeaways, if you're not growing, then I think there's something wrong. I mean, it should happen organically, it should happen naturally, as I'm sort of going out, working on different genres, different stories. So it happens, and like I said, it happens organically. And of course, these are transferable skill sets that you can take from one show or a film and take it to the other. It's just something, it's about practice more than anything else.
Yeah.
Practice makes a person perfect, and it applies to acting more than anything else.
Yeah. But having said that, does your current project influence what you choose next?
I mean, it's like saying that this conversation that you're having with me, when you go back home and talk to your husband, are you going to get influenced by me and mix the two things up?
Yeah, but we are not staying in this role for a very long time. But when you stay,
if you speak to me every day, okay, your relation with your boss as opposed to your relation with your sister or your best friend or your spouse, these are all very different. See, I mean, the thing is that you got to realize that as an actor, what you're doing is, the first thing is that your character is a reflection of who you're with. Your behavior is all about the ecosystem you're in and the person you're talking to, and what is your dynamic with that person. So, and you tap, as different characters, you tap into a different personality, have a different understanding, and it is set. It is not fluid in that sense. Like, you don't just kind of slip out of one and the other thing's not going to creep in. It's not like that. You have like I said, I have a certain demeanor, a certain equation with you, and with the other person, it'll be very different. So
But you know, in between you did comparatively a lighter film like Tumse Na Ho Payega, when in you know, amid all the gritty drama which you have done, and probably even a part of Made in Heaven season 2. So in that sense, I was asking, like, do you sometimes do you feel that now let me just, you know, explore these kind of, you know, lighter or different genres than being in this gritty dark space like you have been with probably Adura.
no, that's the great thing about storytelling. You know, it's like you got to be an actor for all seasons. I think it's, and if you have that kind of see things from that lens, then you're in for a treat, because I mean, in our life we experience ups and downs. You know, the good old adage is that you take acting, storytelling, it comes from life, not the other way around. And if you see it from that point of view, I think you could be in a very grim situation, but there will be light-hearted moments there too.
Yeah.
So that is, and similarly, you know, it's like life, happiness, sadness, you know, ups and downs. These things come in waves, come and go, and we experience all these emotions.
Yeah.
It's just about, you know, you're talking about Tumse Na Ho Payega, something which is coming of age.
Yeah.
We've all been through that. You know, a person like Ansari, who hasn't been marginalized? Have you not been made feel inadequate at any point of time? Everyone has.
Yeah.
Probably for our, you know, our parents, you know, it could be anything. There's so many things.
Yeah.
You know, the color of your skin, your education, where you stay, your address, you know, caste, class, sexuality, gender, all those things. So I think it's all about, for me, it's all about awareness, to be aware of what this character in the story is about. You know, there's always some truth, even if it's like an out and out comedy. There's always some truth to, you know, who this person is, where he's coming from, where he's going. Even if he's like someone completely cuckoo, or you know, even if it's like a Will Ferrell zone.
Yeah.
Now, even that's a character.
Yeah.
Why do you think those guys really strike a chord? Because they're playing characters. They're not making faces and, you know, making a sort of trying to kind of do something that is in your face and over the top for no reason. These are quirky, eccentric characters which you see out there.
Definitely. You know, but I want to know your point of view as, you know, as a viewer, like when Paatal Lok came out, when, you know, when OTT became a boom. I mean, it started off in India with, you know, 2018 Sacred Games and all, but when it, because of the lockdown, the content consumption was mainly through, you know, your screens, your small screen, or, you know, TV and all. And Paatal Lok was one of the, you know, pioneer of the genre, which the gritty genre, which nobody was prepared for. Like, I binge watched it and I had a couple of days to unwind from the show. It was that kind. But over the time, like over these 4-5 years, there have been content, there have been titles which have, you know, started delving into that genre as well, with trying to create, you know, taking out similar, not I will say similar, but it is genre or sort of the dark, gritty nature of that. So when it comes to season 2, which is coming after a very long time, do you think that probably the audience perception towards content consumption have changed? Have you noticed that with
Maybe we'll find out. Who am I to say? I don't have the stats. I'm not sitting behind the
But I'm sure
the
Paatal
algorithm.
Lok has a loyal fan base. But do you, yeah, because that is going to stay.
I have no basis of commenting on it. I don't know. Can't say it will. It won't. I have no idea. I do have this belief that if it's something that is any good, if it's a good show, then it finds its place. In terms of numbers, maybe more, maybe less. A lot more people watch OTT now, so could probably surpass, you know, the success. But who knows? I mean, it's all we're all going to find out in the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, I mean, it's just hardly 4 days, and.
हाँ, लेकिन डेटा तो आपका 2 हफ्ते बाद ही आएगा ना.
हाँ, लेकिन मेरे को नहीं लगता वेब सीरीज का इतना टाइम लगता है. People, I have seen people, you know, sharing screenshots and yeah, the scene is great.
It blows up in the first first weekend, I guess. That's when you kind of get a good sense of where this is going.
Yeah, do you think that over the time it has also, because of the I mean, I'm talking about the content, because you have been part of OTT majorly, and with that there is also the attention span, which is kind of question, which is largely OTT has given given space for viewers to have a larger attention span, but it's always competing with, you know, the shorter videos which come across, which people keep on scrolling through that. But as an artist and probably as a consumer, from you as well, do you think that it has affected the attention span of the viewer?
I think if it's an engaging show, I've never looked at my phone. I've binge watched Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul recently. I watch some other great stuff, you know, different genres, and I don't know, I don't somehow reach out for my phone. But if it's a show that doesn't warrant that kind of attention, if it's, you know, just a very it doesn't have any depth, and probably, you know, you're going to be like, okay, fine, it's just playing, and let me just kind of do other stuff, chat with friends, you know, stalk people, shop for something, look up something. Doesn't make sense to me. I don't buy that. I think it's good content warrants your attention, and people watch it very carefully, like, you know, you would.
Yeah.
Smartphone or no smartphone.
Yeah. And what about now that you have been part of these many long formats? I think maximum long formats, then movies. If I just check your filmography, like, but what about that? I mean, is there any in the pipeline that you are looking forward to, and probably on the big screen?
We'll find out soon.
Give some hint, no?
There is, yes. There's a couple of things that interesting stuff. I've always wanted to work with the Bhatts, so I'm doing a film with them.
Oh, nice.
And Mr. Mahesh Bhatt and Mr. Vikram Bhatt is directing it. Mr. Vikram Bhatt is directing it. It's a one of a kind of a genre bender. Very interesting. It's got Anupam Kher, Kher Saab, me, and Ada Sharma in it. And that's something which is going to be again something I really enjoy doing.
So you're part of some horror universe, it seems.
No, it's not horror.
It's not?
It's a genre bender.
Okay.